This call is being recorded and it will be available on our website later this week. So anyone who needs to catch it, or if you need to go back and reference anything, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at kkramer@ttech.com. I am Katie Kramer. I am the Training and Project Specialist for Tomorrow's Technology today. And we also have Leah Kesters, who's our Business Development Specialist, on the call with us too. So if you have any questions, we're going to keep this pretty relaxed. So feel free to drop them in the chat, or if you want to unmute your microphone, you can do that as well. And go ahead and just chime in as we go through things. I am going to demo Teams a little bit, and we're just going to talk about the different parts. And then we're also just going to go through what's new. Microsoft has really taken the opportunity to improve their product. Listening to the feedback as we all kind of need to figure out a way to stay connected through all of this COVID-19 experience that we're going through. And then we're also going to go through some of the questions that people left when they registered for the webinar. And again, I'll try and touch base and reach out. So if you have any questions, please just let us know. Is everyone able to see the Teams screen? Can you see it, Leah? Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
You see Teams? Jerry?
No, actually, I see. How do I install Teams?
Okay. Let me switch screens here. There we go. Now do you see Teams? There we go. There's Leah.
I see Leah.
Sorry, Leah. Okay. So basically, just to kind of go through the different parts. So you can use Teams for just a basic chat service, and they've increased the number of people that you can chat with. So if you want to chat with a group, you can do that. Or if you just want to do an individual and have a private conversation, you can do that as well. As you go through, you're able to change out if you decide that you don't want to type anymore and you want to have a video call or an audio call, you can do that up here at the top right. Or you can also do screen sharing, which I think is pretty convenient. If you need to hop on and just show someone what you're seeing or what they're seeing, they're able to share their screen from here, and then it can select whichever monitor you want to display. And then you also have the option to see who your audience is, who's included within that chat, just by clicking on this view participants over here. And you can add people as well, or if you want to leave that group chat, you can do that. Down here at the bottom, you're going to have the different formatting options, the level of importance. If you want to send a file, we do this a lot for when we're building websites for people. So they're able to attach files and they can send it to you, and it's going to save it up here in this files section. Obviously, we don't have anything in here, but when we go through our Teams in a little bit, we'll talk about how the files are shared. You can also do emojis. You can add GIFs if you want. That's one of my favorite things about Teams. I like to have fun with that. You can do stickers. You can schedule a meeting from here. So this is pretty convenient. That if you decide that the chat is gone a little, if you need to have a little bit more to it, you can schedule a meeting and just do that from here. And it's going to include everyone that's within that chat conversation. And then you can schedule it for whenever you want. You can add it within the Teams channel. The location obviously is going to be Microsoft Teams. People are able to access the Teams meeting from either their Teams application on their desktop, or they can also use a browser or from their smartphone. And then you can just add the description of the meeting that you want to do. We're just going to close that for now. That's the stream. And then you also have the option if you want to include an app. So we do this a lot, which like OneNote, or we can do forms, different things like that. You can search for any of the apps that are available. So that makes it pretty convenient. Next button is going to be our Teams. So we have our security awareness. We use InfoSec. So we like to just put in here any basic notes that we want to do. We have different channels set up for our different clients, and then we're able to add whenever we send reports or any issues that they might be having. And here's where the files come in really handy. So here you can see these are all the different reports that we've sent, and then it's got when it was modified and who it was modified by. So the teams, again, this is pretty handy because you can have people within your organization, or you can also add people outside of your organization as well. So for example, we can use RMS since we have Jerry on the call. Jen and I have been chatting back and forth, and here we're able to see, just to kind of clarify what they want. We can send the pictures back and forth, different things like that. And then it's just got that availability right here rather than emailing back and forth and knowing whatever was current. There's also the calendar view. So this syncs up with your Outlook calendar. So you can join a meeting directly from here, or you can also go into the meeting and join that way as well. Files, these are going to just be all the files that were shared back and forth. Here you can see what the name of the file was, when it was last modified, and the location as well, so you know which channel to look in to find your document. Over here for calls, so every morning we have a call. When I'm not in the office, I need to call Lisa, so I have her in my favorites, so I can just do a quick call from here, and I can also do a video call. You can add speed dials, or you can also do a group if you need to do a group call, like a morning stand-up kind of thing. You can do that directly from Teams. Again, down here in the apps, this is just going to be all the different applications that if you want to use. So if you want to use Planner or OneNote, Excel, you're able to do that from here. And I do want to let you know, Microsoft has a couple resources available within their help. So you're able to either search by topic, or you can go to training, what's new. So this is kind of what got us started with our topic for today, to discover what's the 10 latest rollouts or 10 latest updates that they've had within the last month. As you can see up here at the top, my icon has it set. So right now my status is set to presenting. So I have my notifications turned off for while I'm presenting, so I can't get new Teams chat messages. So we'll look at that in a little bit, that you can go into your settings and you're able to change where your notifications are. But basically these different options you can set if you want to receive the notifications, or if you want to be notified in a different way, if you don't want the audio to play, or if you don't want the banner to display, things like that. That's all managed within here. You're also able to set up different organizations. So here we have our company, and then we also have, I'm part of a Microsoft group and part of a NetLogic, and this all just displays the same way. It's just with different permission levels. So anyone who's included in this Microsoft group is able to see within the different chats. Does anyone have any questions? Just kind of over the basic features of Microsoft Teams. Okay, we're gonna flip back over to the presentation. Do you see the presentation?
Katie, I do have one.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out how to chat with you guys, but I can only chat with people who are in my company, or...
Did you try typing in our email address?
No, because I don't know it by heart.
Okay, so let me show you that real quick.
Thank you.
So if we go up here to the chat, and up here, let's see. So here, if I type in, I'm going to do Angela Harmon as my example. So here, if I just click on this, and I've chatted with Angela before.
Okay.
So click on here, and then it's going to show that conversation. Okay. So if you just go up, sorry, go ahead.
I just need to know their email address in order to start chatting with them. They don't have to be part of our Office 365 or...
Nope, they don't have to be part of your Office 365. So as long as they have that Microsoft Office subscription, you're able to just type in their email address, and it'll show that it's external, just letting you know that you're going outside of your organization, just to make sure you have the right person.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just need to know email addresses. Okay, yep. Thank you.
Yeah, and you can do the same thing with the teams. So when you want to add someone to your team.
Okay. Got it. So I'm in a leads group with Leah, and we could do a leads team instead of Zoom,
Correct.
just by putting in their email addresses.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, and can you see the presentation? How to install Teams? Okay, so if you don't have Teams installed, which you don't have to have Teams installed to be able to use it, you can also use it from a browser. But if you want to install the Teams app, you can either give us a call, or if you go to portal.office.com and just sign in with your Microsoft account, and from there you're able to go just click on Teams, and that'll give you the little installation wizard, so you can just install it from there. So data security. So this is always a big question that we get with knowing how secure your data is using Microsoft products. So Teams does enforce the two-factor authentication, and they do use single sign-on. And then the encryption is also in transit and when the data is at rest. So I don't think we can ask for anything more than that from Microsoft. They do make sure that they stay compliant with all the different healthcare, banking industries, all those agencies that have like the specific regulations that they need to be careful of. Microsoft is pretty good about that. So basically just, letting you know kind of what this means to you. So Microsoft spends over $1 billion a year on their cybersecurity. So that's a lot more than these other video conferencing, instant messaging applications, and they are compliant, and a business associate agreement is available. And then for T-Tech-T, we take it one step further, and anyone who's part of our personal identification information for cybersecurity. So we talk quite a bit about letting people know, like your social security number and how we're keeping those things protected. So that service is available from us. So if you want to learn anything more about that, please feel free to reach out to Leah and she can talk to you about that. Sorry, I thought I had someone needing to get in. Oh, thank you. Okay, so to get started on all the new updates that they've done, so in response to everyone kind of working from home, they've increased the meeting and meeting chat size to 300 people. I think this is up from 200 people. And this is something that they're going to evaluate again, I think in September, just to see if this is meeting the need, if they need to increase it, or if they can back it back down. Access notification settings from activity. So you can get quick access to the notification settings by going to activity and then your settings icon. So this is going to be handy when you're going through, like let's say that you are giving a presentation and you don't want to be disturbed while you're presenting, or if you want to set your status to do not disturb, that'll also block people from sending you chat messages. So basically you have a couple of different ways that you can set your notifications. You can either do the banner and email, or you can just do the banner where it just like gives you that little pop-up, or you can just do only show and feed, which that's going to be that little bell with the 7 on it. You're going to see how many notifications you have, or you can also just turn it off if you want to. So for any Mac users out there, I think they weren't quite on the same platform as the Windows desktop users, but they have made some improvements for people using Safari. So now you're no longer required to use audio conferencing to dial into meetings. So now they're going to use the built-in mic and speakers for talking and listening. So that's a little more convenient for anyone using Safari. Meet now or later in Teams for free. So this is along with instant messages where you can schedule if you want to meet now again, if you get tired of instant messaging with someone and doing all that typing, you can start an audio call or just a voice call, or you can also take it and you can schedule it to a meeting. And if you see at the bottom, there's a meet now, or there's also the little new meeting button. That's what it looks like. It really just depends on which version you have, which screen that you're going to see. So this is something new that they are kind of allowing for your team's information to be available when you're offline. So this is going to let your most recent conversations and your pinned chats and channels are going to be available when working offline. Obviously, you're not going to be able to send or receive messages until you get back online. But even if you want to type out a message, if you're offline, and then once you reconnect, that message is going to send. As far as the pinned chats, so you have your recent conversations up at the top. Or you can also, if you want to pin it, you're going to click the 3 little dots next to the conversation and select pin, and that adds chats to a pinned section up at the top, so it's not lost in all your recent conversations. Customize your background. So I really like this one, especially for people working from home, or if you're in a busy office. And this is something Jerry turned on from RMS, that he has his beach setting. So it looks like he's sitting at the beach, or you can also do a high rise. So if you are in a meeting and you just click on the 3 little dots and go to show background effects, that's either you're able to set a background, or you can also just blur out the background that you have. And then that way it only focuses on you. So here this person chose, she uploaded the Simpsons living room. So it looks like that's her background. But again, you only see her. So we have no idea. She could be sitting in a park somewhere, but you would never know it with that background. Group chat size increased to 250. So again, this is just another feature that they updated in response to everything else going on. And that'll get evaluated again in September. So privacy for people joining meetings via the phone. So this kind of works the same way that it did in Skype, that if you need to have a phone number available on your Teams meeting, you'll have to have a special license. So just give us a call if this is something that you need. It's only like $2 a month or something like that. But this is just going to make it for people who just need to call in for the meeting. So let's say that they're using the Bluetooth in their car or something like that, and they just want to be able to call in rather than using the data on their phone. They can do that, and then now it's going to obscure your phone number from any participants that are outside your organization. But people within inside your organization are still going to see your phone number. So again, team sizes have increased to 10,000. So I'm not so sure how much any small businesses around here are really going to need that, but it is pretty handy for anyone connecting with clients, just to know that that option is available. So meeting options. So when you schedule your meeting and you go back into it, you're going to have that little meeting options button. And that's going to give you all these different options. So who can bypass the lobby? And that's kind of just a security setting. So you can either set it to people within your organization, or if you want to just let anyone in, you can do that as well. Allows or always let callers to bypass the lobby, announce when callers can join or leave, and then who can present. And again, you can just set that to either people within your organization, or if you want to let anyone, you can do that as well. So this is something new too, that they are now integrating Microsoft Bookings. So the Bookings app in Teams is a way to schedule virtual appointments. So for anyone who's already used the Bookings app, this is, or if you're new to the Bookings app, I mean, you're able to schedule your client visits according to staff. So this is something that we have set up for myself, Lisa, Leah, or Bonnie, I think. And then it's got it set up where we can do a 30-minute consultation. And if you want to apply a fee, you can. And then it also allows for each person to have like their own set schedule for when people are able to schedule their time. So now that is available within Teams. So here I just added it using the apps, and I plugged in bookings, and then it asked if I wanted to set up a new bookings. So I did that, and then I just did just a general discovery meeting, and I just scheduled that within my calendar. And again, it's all going to sync up and be available within your Teams calendar, your bookings calendar, and also within your Outlook calendar. And then we also have the chat pop out window. So here you can see I popped out a message from Jen Hulsman. And basically what this does is it serves as another Microsoft window. So you're able to pop it out, and then if you need to move it around on your screen or kind of reference it, you can do that just by clicking on the little arrow next to the chat conversation. All right, does anyone have any questions about the latest updates? Okay, so we're going to go through just a couple questions from the registration process that we gathered within our comments. So join a Teams meeting from the app. So you are either able to join the meeting within the app, or you can also use a browser. So if you're using the app, you just go to the calendar, click on join, and it's going to get prompt you for your audio and video settings that you want to use. So if you want to use a headset, or if you just want to go through your computer, and then just select join now. If you don't have the Teams app, you can still join the meeting, and you're going to have two options where you can install the app if you want, or you can just join it from the web. And typically, if you have a Microsoft account, I would use that. If you don't, you can also just sign in as a guest. And again, just click on the join now. And sometimes too, you might, depending on how the person set up the meeting, you might have to go into the lobby and someone will have to admit you before you can get in. So just in case you have to wait a little bit. Scheduling an Outlook with Teams. So we have the the new Teams meeting button on our ribbon. So I would suggest using that. And basically that works the same way as if you do the Outlook and the new meeting. Instead, you can do the new Teams meeting, and that's going to set it up with Teams. So that's going to give you the screen that you see on the right. So you can go in and you can put in all your meeting invitation, and then down at the bottom you can see that it has the Microsoft Teams meeting as the location, and then you also have the link to join Teams meeting and the meeting options as well. Security and Teams. So as I mentioned earlier, Microsoft is committed to security compliance, whether you're banking, healthcare, school, government. If you have specific questions, please feel free to schedule some time with me or Leah, and we are certainly happy to talk about anything specific to your industry and how Teams is keeping your information secure. Microsoft is doing a great job definitely investing within those solutions. So as you can see, they've had a lot of updates just within the last month, and they have a lot more coming later this summer. So I just wanted to point out some free resources that are available to you. So within the app, you can go to help and what's new, and that's just going to give you a full list of whatever new features that Teams has rolled out. Just one big rolling list, and it explains what you do with it. You can also book a 30-minute training session with me, and again, that's using Microsoft Bookings. And I'll get a notification and you'll receive a meeting invitation, and we can connect that way. We're also going to be adding the Microsoft Quick Start guides. So those are just short videos that we're going to add. We're going to embed within our website. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll let you guys know when that's available. And you can also Teams chat me. So again, just use my email address and select kkramer@TTechT. I'm going to be external to your organization, and you're able to just shoot me an instant message that way. All right, does anybody have any questions on Teams?
Hey,
right.
Katie.
Yeah.
I tried to do what you had mentioned before about just putting the address up there, and it tells me, oh shoot, now it went away. It told me that our organizations don't talk to each other, so I couldn't send a chat.
Okay. Let me see. We might be kind of walled off from the rest of the world. So let me see if that's the case, and I will get back to you on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, because I tried both of you, and it said No, I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Because if I could use this for different groups, that'd be very helpful and not
Yeah.
always. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so our next webinar is going to be July 15th at 1 o'clock. We're going to be talking about Microsoft Planner. So that's a project management tool that you can use. It's included with your Microsoft subscription. And thank you so much. And I hope everyone has a great holiday weekend.
You too, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.